What is up, AFC South fans? We are here for the roundtable, and what a week it was. My 49ers got their teeth kicked in by the Texans. We got the Colts ramrodding the Titans and the Jaguars on a bye week. Let me bring in the fellas. We got Red Ranger over there. We got Derek, Dalton, and my guy, Ruben. Gosh, man, you have so many bragging rights over me. We'll get to it in just a second. But first, I do want to hear from the Red Ranger, who appears to be a Titans fan. There is a trade that just happened yesterday that I do want to talk about, and it involves your Titans trading McCreary to the Rams for a pick swap. I heard some mixed things about this. McCreary is even if he's a low-level starter, he is a starting caliber young corner in this league, and to trade him basically for, I don't know, maybe moving up 10 to 15 spots in the draft seemed a little strange to me. Maybe that's because I'm a Niner fan and I hate that he went to the Rams. But Red Ranger, what did you think of this trade?
Well, first, let me help set the mood a little bit. So, but the thing is, I think with the Titans, the situation that they're in right now, they're in sell mode. They're selling assets off to try and just get some more draft capital going forward. Roger McCreary, it's definitely a miss right there, I think, in that situation. But the way the Titans are playing right now, I think they're just stripping it down to the studs and starting the full rebuilds going forward in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels that way. I think Arden Key might be on the move. It sounds like basically everybody but like Simmons is on the move potentially for this defense.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at this point, anybody that's not Jeffrey Simmons, Devondre Sweat, Cedric Gray, or obviously Cam Ward, the Titans are basically going to just do whatever they have to do to get things moving in the right direction. It's basically just strip it down, just tear it down for 2026. So I expect a few more moves to be made this week and potentially before the trade deadline goes. I think they're going to hit the gas pedal. So power up.
Power up. All right. Well, good to see you, Red Ranger. You haven't changed one bit since my childhood, and happy that you're here. All right. Listen, anytime the host teams get their teeth kicked in, we got to start with the opposing team. And unfortunately for me, the AFC South is dominating the 49ers. This is 2-0, you guys are. But Ruben, I got to give you the floor, brother. Your Texans beat my 49ers 26-15. Talk to me about this game, man. And actually, I have some questions for you, but just give me the layout of this game from your perspective.
Yeah, you know what, man? I've been catching strays from you for about 4 weeks now. So I'm just going to let you know that you guys got dog-walked. If it wasn't for our special teams, then, we might be talking about a scoreless half. The Houston Texans, what they did on Sunday, I mean, no one thought they were going to, that the offense was going to be the driving force of the game. No one thought their offensive line was going to give up 0 sacks. We all knew the defense was going to do, what it did. I was told all week, even though they have all these injuries, the coaching advantage between Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan will be more than enough for the Houston Texans. That was absolutely false. Robert Saleh looked lost out there. He was shaking his head, and Kyle Shanahan had no answer. So ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans, they can only beat teams that are beat the hell up and suck, and they happen to beat the hell out of a pretty good, hurt San Francisco 49ers team, right? There was a San Francisco player that said, what the F is a Houston Texan? Well, you found out what a Texan was on Sunday. Absolutely embarrassing for all those fans and NRG showing up in the red and gold. They walked out with their heads on the floor. Dubs, Victory Tuesday.
You definitely have been catching some strays from me. I don't know that those strays are going to stop, by the way, but this week you deserve all the praise. A question I do have for you, Ruben, is after this win and the way that it went down, do you feel like the Texans are back a little bit, that the swagger's there, that they got a chance to push for the playoffs? Or because going into this game, if they had lost, you basically said the season was done. So to the contrary, a win means that their season is still alive, but the way that they got it done, that's got to feel pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel pretty good because, like I said, this is the first time where we could say that your offense was the driving force of the game. I don't want to say we are completely back yet because you need to do it consistently. I will say that, my confidence meter from, Monday night to now was from a 0 to, I'll say, not a 4. I am just waiting to see what they do against the Denver Broncos. If they go out there and the offense is able to move the football and the offense is looking good, then with this defense, this Houston Texans team is going to be pretty scary. Better late than never. Did they arrive to the party? I don't know. But hearing CJ Stroud talk after, telling his offensive line, there's no me without you, kind of beefing with the media and saying, we are the ones on the field. Seems like the Houston Texans have a little swagger, but we'll see if it carries on. I'm not sold yet, but almost.
All right. Well, listen, IXO must not know me very well because even amongst the 49er community, they don't like me because of my Purdy takes. I don't think Purdy's that great. So I'm certainly not going to do that. And injuries are not an excuse. Every team is injured. You guys had plenty of injuries yourselves.
Yeah, no Nico.
And you found a way to get it done. A way to get it done. So we got dog walked. You're absolutely right. We definitely got dog walked. All right. Let's talk about the Colts and the Titans. The Colts continue to roll, winning 38-14. Jonathan Taylor put on an absolute show in this game. The Titans might be having a fire sale, as we've already seen. Red Ranger, I'll go to you second on this one. But Derek, your team won, which means you get the floor. Talk to me about this game, brother.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good game once again. I mean, I expected the Indianapolis Colts to come out and look about the same as what they did the first time around. It was funny because after the Colts scored on their first 3 possessions, and then the final 2 possessions of the first half where, for the first time in like maybe all season, there were times where, Daniel Jones wasn't throwing the football to certain places. It looked like the offense was kind of like out of sorts and whatever. And then sure enough, the second half came around. And obviously, Jonathan Taylor had that big 80-yard touchdown to start out the second half for his offense. And we scored 3 touchdowns in a row after. And then I was thinking to myself after the game, like, I wonder if those 2 drives were just like a bunch of random plays that the Colts were just trying out because they're like, oh, we know we're going to destroy this team. Let's try and test some stuff out, see if anything works with that, but it didn't work. And then the Colts were like, all right, we'll just go back to what we do best, which is just hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor. And, he just absolutely destroyed them. So it was nice again to be able to see a good win, another blowout. And, obviously going into the next few weeks, you're going to have a little step up in the competition. So all in all, it was good to be able to enjoy this win, especially with the fact that I was just recovering from a surgery this last week. So it was nice to not get wound up for that game and, just enjoy myself.
Keep talking about the hernia surgery.
Yeah, listen. Sorry. I was muted.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm here. I promise. I
was like, did I?
He had a hernia surgery? Is that what it was? Oh my gosh! All right, listen. You guys continue to put on a show offensively. I wish my offense struggled and put up 38. I'll tell you that right now. You guys are on an absolute roll, setting record after record. It seems Jonathan Taylor is set for another running back triple crown. It's pretty damn impressive. In the defense is continuing to do their thing as well. As this trade deadline approaches, I want to ask you, Derek, what is the one thing you need? Is it still corner? Is there a pass rusher out there? Like, I gotta imagine the Colts are going to be buyers at this point.
Yeah. So, and the crazy part about the offense too is that for almost half the games this year, they've been putting up those numbers in 3 quarters. So like the 4th quarter, they have backups in for the majority of these games. So like, I mean, that's what's even crazier is that if the Colts went a full 60 minutes, imagine what the numbers could actually be. But as far as trade deadline goes, Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts definitely need to be buyers. And honestly, whatever you want to do defensively, I'm fine with it. Because honestly, the Colts have issues at particular. You know, it's there's issues everywhere on the defense, even though it hasn't really resonated yet. It will once we start facing these more high-powered offenses. The pass rush hasn't been super great, even though it has been averaging about 3 sacks a game, still isn't getting there consistently. Linebackers can't cover very well on tight ends. And then corners, the problem is with the corners is just that we're hurt. When we get Tarvarius Ward back from his concussion, and then Jalen Jones, who's supposed to be coming back either this week or next week, that will be huge for the cornerback room. So I feel less worried about going after a corner, even though I have heard the Colts are in the market for one. I feel like just once we get our guys back, we'll be good in that area. But I think we do need an edge rush, somebody that can go out there and do something, because Ebukam and Tyquan Lewis, they haven't really done anything great. I've heard the Colts have tried with Trey Hendrickson. I doubt that the Bengals are actually going to ship him out. I've heard Will McDonald from the Jets could be an interesting one. So I do hope that the Colts get some kind of help at the edge or linebacker room to help this defense in the back half of the year.
All right, Red Ranger, your Titans were on the other side of the dog walking. Talk to me about this game, brother.
Well, first off, let me get the first thing out of the way. Derek, obviously, Daniel Jones looking like comeback player of the year. Jonathan Taylor, very much looking like an MVP caliber player going into 2025. That being said, suck my Megazord.
Oh, man.
Nice.
But is it
Nice.
comeback player of the year for like players that are hurt, like not for players that have been ass their whole career and then, just get a resurgence?
Rules, based off the actual rules, that is not the case. It's the perceived notion that an injured player is the one to get it. But it technically does say in the rules that somebody that battled through some type of adversity that affected their play in a previous season and came back and did what they did. So Daniel Jones does fit the criteria, but usually
did you look that up?
Well, who else is in the running though? Who else is in the running?
Somebody looked it up, and I saw
CMC.
that earlier. But
yeah, CMC.
Somebody looked it up, but it's like the MVP award. It's like it shouldn't just be a quarterback award, but it always is. It's kind of how the comeback player of the year is.
I just feel like giving it to CMC is just kind of boring. The guy's kind of been there, done all that. Like Daniel Jones hasn't really done this before, so
right.
I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. All right, Dalton, listen, your team was on a bye this week, but you got to sit back, watch the division play out in front of you. Was there anything that stood out to you as you watched this week's games? And I'm sure you were intently watching, knowing that your Jags are trying to catch up to the Colts at the very least.
Yeah, the hate watching didn't go very good. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
and within a span of like 5 minutes last week, we had the Tyson Campbell and Kayvon Chason, 2 former Jaguars, score touchdowns within 5 minutes of each other. But outside of that, I don't know. It's really weird right now as a Jaguar fan because, 2 or 3 weeks ago after we beat the Chiefs, we were on like such a high. Like we just had, we were doing so well. Like, the previous game against the 49ers had just beat the Texans as well. So, sitting at 4-1, we were just feeling really good. But the last couple of games, just offense, defense, special teams, none of those look good. Then, our last sight of the Jaguars was against the Rams in London, and we got our teeth kicked in. So right now we're just kind of like, it's weird because the Jaguars are 4-3, which all of us would have taken that before the season, but also the NFL is like a what have you done for me lately league. And the last 2 games have been the worst games of the season. So we need this Sunday really bad. The Jaguars need to play and beat the Raiders on Sunday. And it's a little bit concerning because right now the Jaguars are actually 3-point underdogs in that game. So I don't know what Vegas knows that we don't know. I know the Jaguars had to really take a deep dive and figure out how to do a bunch of different stuff. Like, why is this offense not moving? They had to get both Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. going. The pass rush isn't good. I think with the Jaguars on offense, they have the raw materials to be a good offense. I don't know if I could say the same for like the defensive line, for example. There's just not really many players there that can generate a pass rush. So if the Jaguars are going to buy any position, it would definitely be buying a pass rusher, probably on the interior of the defensive line, kind of helping out there. But the Jaguars, I mean, they have a lot of good stuff ahead of them. I mean, the last 7 games, 5 of those games, the Jaguars have played teams with winning records. Now, you got kind of a lot softer of your schedule coming up. So yeah, the Jaguars, I mean, we need Sunday really bad, just because the last time we've seen the Jaguars, we were really bad. But we'll just have to see kind of what happens.
Well, you talked about Brian Thomas Jr. Is there any chance he's getting traded? There's a lot of rumors swirling around him in particular. What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't think they'll trade him. And I don't know. The thing is, what's the source that brought that out there, right? Is it the Jaguars GM throwing it out there saying, "Hey guys, like, call me, I can make some stuff happen," or is it another GM trying to put it out there, or is it actually serious? Are they doing it? I don't think they'll do it, just because I don't think you'll get the return because you always look at players, you look at their ceiling, right? Like, you're not going to, I think at best you get a 2nd round pick right now. And I just don't think that's worth it to trade away Brian Thomas Jr. Then you're creating a big hole. So I think right now you just got to, rise or fall with Brian Thomas Jr. You got to ride him until the wheels fall off, so to speak. But I don't know. Like, it's a situation of like, are you bought in? If he's bought in, then you keep him. But if he's not bought in, if he thinks it's everybody else's fault but himself, he's more of a liability on this team. But I know if I'm the Jaguars, I'm kind of having him taking a back seat, and I'm featuring Travis Hunter as the wide receiver 1 on the team.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong reading this situation from the outside, but I don't feel like he's that type of malcontent. He's never come across that way to me. He's only in year 2. Like, it just seems a bit premature to be having those conversations, especially for a 2nd round pick when you just drafted him 1st round the year prior. I don't know.
Yeah, and he has a different personality than a lot of wide receivers. A lot of wide receivers are big, chest out, loudmouth. They're divas. He's not really like that. He's very introverted, doesn't really talk very much. So it's definitely different. But the Jaguars had to figure out what the heck's going on with him, because I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been struggling for sure, but I don't buy this whole, because people throw this whole thing out there like, oh, Trevor Lawrence doesn't throw a catchable ball. Like, I'm like, if you're 15 yards downfield and it hits you in the hands, I just don't. I can understand if you're 3 yards away, maybe he throws it on a line and it's too hard, maybe that, but that hasn't been the case. So I don't know. They have to figure it out. I mean, the whole entire offense has to figure it out. Outside Travis Hunter, not many players have been doing very good the last couple of weeks. So time to take a deep dive. I think they had the talent to be able to do some stuff, but will they do it? That's why you play the game, right?
All right. Well, we'll see how it all plays out. We'll get to this week's previews here in a minute. But first, we got to hear from our sponsor, Sleeper. Use promo code RTS. Link is at the top of the description. Get a 100% deposit match of up to $100. And right now, if you use promo code RTS, you don't even have to make a deposit in order to get a free $20 play. Just sign up, use promo code RTS. Listen, Tuesday is always a weird spot because most of the games aren't loaded yet. So from here on out, just to make this easy, keep it simple. We all love football. It doesn't have to necessarily be our teams that we're looking at. We're just going to look at the Thursday night football game, and I will let each one of you make a pick. Again, this is my money on the line, so let's play wisely here. Ruben, at the very least, man, your team kicked my team's teeth in. Can you at least give me a winner here? Is there anything that stands out to you, brother?
Yeah, I do my best.
All right.
Let's go Devon A-Chain over on the rushing yards. The Baltimore Ravens defensive line is depleted, and I am a big fan of A-Chain, Texas boy. So I think he's going to go over on the rush yards.
All right, sounds good. Dalton, anything that you see here?
Yeah, we can do an anytime touchdown for Derrick Henry. Got one last week, so we can keep that going. By the way, this would have been a really good game 2 years ago.
Yeah, wouldn't it? But a high scoring one. I remember actually when the Ravens were beating the crap out of the Dolphins a few years ago, and the Dolphins came all the way back. That was a great game to watch. Red Ranger, what are your thoughts here, man? Thursday night football, anything that you like?
I have the power, but not the power to see.
All right, we're gonna go
Those are
Zay
passing.
Flowers. Sounds like Zay Flowers more on the 59.5. All right, Derek.
You should watch Titans games like that.
Yeah.
That's why I drink.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Derek, anything that you see here that you like more or less?
I saw that that Lamar Jackson 35.5 rushing yards. He's back. He's probably going to be back this week. I will take the over on that. I think he's going to have
I would
a,
take the under. I'll be scared.
I know
no,
because
think
he
he's
had his hamstring,
I think
right?
he's
Oh,
gonna
this one's
come
close.
back and show and remind everybody just who he is. So.
First play,
All right, you know what?
90 yards
Listen,
on the ground.
I'm gonna fade you a little bit. We'll go 25 plus rushing yards.
He has
all right.
had some insane rushing games against Miami in his past.
He has. I'm worried because he's coming back from a hammy that he might just play in the pocket. So I'm gonna go with it, but instead of 35.5, I'm gonna go 25. Is that fair? You
All
feel
right,
good about
that's
that?
fair. That's
all right,
fair.
we'll fade it a little bit. All right, we're gonna put 10 down. We hit all of them. We're gonna get $54. We're gonna submit that. One thing I love about Sleeper is that you have 5 minutes to cancel. We're not going to do that. We're going to let it ride.
yeah.
You can tail us or you can fade us. That is completely up to you. But either way, use promo code RTS. All right, let's get to these super chats, fellas. We got a few of them here. Logan Taylor says Colts lose 6 of 9 starting this week.
Wow.
You know, it's kind
Oh,
of
no,
funny.
that's
You
rough.
lose
That's
6 of
crazy.
9 and you still probably are making the playoffs with that. But
Oh,
I
but
highly
with no
doubt that
confidence
we
in
lose
the
6
world
of
if that
9.
happens. No,
I am very with the way the offense is right now. There's no way you lose 6 of 9 at the end of the year. There's no way.
Is the Colts offense doing good?
Oh yeah, I mean historically good.
Start the clock.
I don't know. I might need some stats.
I can give them
The
to you
third
all
quarter
day.
with
if
2
you want.
minutes left. On grass. All right. Colts for Super Bowl says wins at Nissan Stadium in their last 31 games. Colts 3, Titans 3.
Damn, that's a number.
There's a stat for you. Jeez.
Can you see the shock on my face?
Yeah, it's apparent even through the mask, dude. Jeez.
Patrick says the Colts win in Pittsburgh Sunday, first time since 2008. Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Up until like 2 years ago, we had a really bad history of facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm not surprised by that.
The Colts fans coming through with the stats, man. They seem to be having your back here today, Derek. Patrick says if the MVP for the MVP award, which QBs deserve the MVP nomination?
I mean, I would say Jones, Baker, and Drake May probably be my top 3.
Yeah,
right?
Drake May. Yeah, Drake Mays. I agree.
Yeah, man. I mean,
think
look
Drake
at
May-
No, no
what
shit.
you
No.
doing.
I was like, that's just crazy. Like
It
they
is
got
kinda
another
crazy.
one. They got another one. Those
Mhm.
bastards.
Those bastards. They killed Kitty. You bastards. All right. Listen, let me
Oh.
let me pull this up here.
Niners just got Keon White
Oh wow.
from
That
the
one
Patriots.
Was going to bring
did
that up
absolutely
earlier, but I
nothing for
figured
me.
Jesse probably already saw it.
Yeah, that one didn't do much for me. Sorry. I wish that it did. I wish that it did, but not too excited about that one. All right. Other promotion. We got RotoWire here. 15% off using promo code RTS. Link is in the description. If you are playing any sort of daily fantasy sports, you can go to the picks and props, go to daily fantasy sports pick'em, choose whoever you ride with. Hopefully it's Sleeper, who's our other sponsor. But what you're going to see here is an AI algorithm that is going to show you who you should be picking week in and week out with confidence. Now, I will tell you, we did not have Jalen Waddle on our board, but we should have, because RotoWire thinks that that is basically a lock. A-Chain, they've got under the rushing and receiving and under the 63.5 rushing yards. Maybe we should have looked at this one, guys. This is my money on the line.
Maybe we should use RotoWire first next time.
We should. You know
Yeah,
what?
man.
Next week we're gonna roll with RotoWire. We're gonna make the picks with
over
RotoWire.
six
That's what we're
rates.
gonna do.
I'm pretty sure after week 4, Jesse started canceling our picks because we suck.
Yeah, I probably should have.
He's got the
I
5 minute
probably
window.
should have.
It's
Yeah.
very helpful when you do these picks on a Tuesday. All right.
Of course.
That's why I'm doing the Thursday night football game. All right. Not just your guys' games, but either way, there's a confidence meter as well. So the bigger the meter, the more confident they are. No matter who you use, definitely use RotoWire to make your picks. Promo code RTS to get things done. All right, fellas, let's start to preview week 9. I cannot believe after this week, we are past the halfway point of the season, fellas. This is absolutely insane. It has flown by for sure. Let's talk about the first 1 o'clock game. Titans versus the Chargers. Dalton, I'll go to you first. Give me your prediction on this game.
Yeah. Chargers definitely showed some life last week, and the Titans just kind of suck. So I'll say the Chargers win 27-10.
27-10. All right. Ruben, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, this is going to be another tough one for the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to go even more. I'm going to say they put up a 30 burger, and I'm going to go ahead and give the Tennessee Titans 14 points.
Okay. All right. So 30-14. All right, Derek, thoughts on this one? Titans versus the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans just suck. I mean, there's no way they win this game. So Chargers 27, Tennessee 13.
Wow. Okay. Michael. I mean, Red Ranger. Sorry. I don't know who Michael is. Red Ranger, thoughts on this game?
It's bye week time.
He wishes.
Chargers
Or
34,
eternity.
Titans 14. Let's just get to the bye week.
Is it possible that the Titans could lose to the bye week? Is that a possibility?
Ooh.
I mean, the Raiders probably could, or the Cardinals could. I don't know about us.
All right. That's
I mean, we almost
Fair
did
enough.
if we traded away Brian Thomas Jr. We could have been the first team to lose the bye week this year.
That's true. That would have been a major loss during the bye week. All right. This game right here is actually a really, really good one. Colts at the Steelers in the 1 p.m. time slot. Red Ranger, we'll go back to you, brother. Who do you have winning this game, Colts or the Steelers?
I really like this matchup. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Defensively, I think it's going to be the edge right there. Unfortunately, the Colts are going to have the edge on the defensive side. So give me the Colts, 24-21.
24-21. Okay, I like this. They haven't won there since 2008. That's interesting. Ruben, your thoughts on this one? Colts versus the Steelers.
Yeah, I actually have the Colts winning this matchup. I was going to go 27-21. Hopefully there's some fireworks late in the game, but the Colts will take this dub.
Okay, all right. And Dalton, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'll give the Colts a W here. I don't think the Steelers are that good. I think they're a product of just not a very good division right now, to be completely honest with you. I just think they're the Steelers. I think they're a team that they somehow slip into the playoffs and lose week 1 just because their overall roster isn't that great. So I'll give the Colts this one 31-28.
I gotta say, the Steelers, for as much talent as on that defense, they're extremely disappointing on the defensive side of the football. That is a shocker to me. It's insane, man. There are so many good players on that side of the ball, and they just cannot do anything. They cannot stop anybody. The Colts are not going to be easy to stop whatsoever. So, Derek, give me a full breakdown on this one. How do you see this one going down? What are some of the matchups that you're looking forward to? What's the final score prediction?
Yeah, what's even wilder about that Steelers defense not being able to stop anyone and being as high paid as they are, the last 4 teams that they've played, they've given up season highs to every single one of those quarterbacks in which they played. So they are, I mean, obviously the Steelers are scoring pretty well right now, which is definitely why teams have been having to throw the football a lot, but they haven't been able to stop anyone. TJ Watt's not really being a factor in anything, and it's just not going well for Pittsburgh. And Shane Steichen is actually 2-0 against the Pittsburgh Steelers as a head coach. So I'd look for that to be 3-0. Right now, I just think the Indianapolis Colts are just much more complete team. And if you're a defense that's giving up season highs to all these quarterbacks, I don't anticipate Daniel Jones doing that. But if you're giving up these many passing yards, Daniel Jones will probably end up having the same thing, even with the back of Jonathan Taylor being in there. And I think our defense will hold enough. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers can run the football as effectively as they want to. So, yeah, I think it'll being a final score of 31-21 Indianapolis.
Speaking of the Steelers, they just got Kyle Duggar, safety from the New England Patriots.
Yeah, because they're safety.
I'm changing my pick.
Elliott
I'm changing my pick.
yesterday.
See, you're not. Are you changing your pick? Really?
No, I'm joking.
Way. Okay. Wow. I'm surprised that I heard that the Patriots were going to be shipping him somewhere because they didn't want to re-sign him. But I'm surprised that he went within the AFC. That's a little bit of a surprise to me. Now I know that they just lost Elliott. I think they're starting safety this last game, so adding Duggar makes a lot of sense for them. I'm just surprised that the Patriots did it in the AFC. But
man, I hope Houston does something.
Well, we might end up talking about it. Speaking of the Texans, they're going to be playing the Broncos in the 1 p.m. time slot. This is not the same Broncos team, by the way, that started out the season. Their offense is absolutely humming over the last 5 quarters, over 70 points put up, 400-something passing yards from Bo Nix. He's had 8 touchdowns in one way or another in those 5 quarters. They are on an absolute heater. So Texans versus the Broncos this week, 1 p.m. time slot. Red Ranger, give me your thoughts on this one.
I mean, to me, this feels like a lock for the Broncos. Or do I feel crazy enough to give Ruben the power? Ruben, I'm going to give you the upset here. Give me the Texans 17-14.
17-14 Texans. All right. Dalton, what are your thoughts on this one? Texans versus the Broncos.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because, the Texans are actually 3-point favorites going into this one, which kind of surprised me. But Texans games have been very weird because when the Texans win, they just absolutely dominate. But they can't squeeze out these one-possession games by any stretch of the imagination. So this one is a real test for them, right? Can they beat a team that's not bad and not injured? This is a game that's going to help them get back to 500. If they lose, they're 3-5, and that might be a little bit difficult to really dig out of. I'm going to take Denver in this one because I do think Denver is a good team. But man, this would be a big one if they could, win a back and forth game, a game with a bunch of lead changes and come out on top. I just think that, Denver is just a tough matchup for anybody. So I'll take Denver in this one. I think it's going to be a struggle. I think 17-13 Denver wins.
Denver's a good team, except for when they're playing the Colts, right, Derek? Hey, Derek, tell me who wins this one, Texans or Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, talk about 2 of the best defenses in the entire National Football League. And it definitely will be a close game here. One thing that's interesting, Patrick Surtain is going to be out for this game. I don't remember what his injury was, but he's going to be out for a couple weeks. So that'll definitely impact the Broncos in a way. But we'll see if the Houston Texans have finally figured out their offense or if they're, if they just got lucky going up against the banged up defense in the 49ers. But you know what? I'm going to give Ruben the benefit of the doubt here. They are at home. I'm going to see if that offense has finally clicked a little bit. I'll go 20-17 Houston in this one.
Well, Ruben, listen, this could be a big one because if Patrick Surtain is out, which it sounds like he is, Nico Collins should be back, which would be a major, major boost. And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I thought going into that 49er game is that this might be the best thing for CJ Stroud is to be without Nico Collins for a week so that he can spread it around and gain trust with his other young receivers. I feel like that's exactly what happened in the 49ers game. Now you can reinsert Nico Collins back into the lineup and you have multiple receivers that you have full trust in. This might be just the thing to give their offense a shot in the arm that it absolutely needed. Now you have no Patrick Surtain. That's got to help you feel a little bit better as well. So how do you see this game going down? Can your Texans get it done for a second week in a row against a very, very good Broncos team?
Well, this is the biggest tough of the year for the Houston Texans to date. They had an opportunity to show on Monday Night Football against Seattle that they were legit, and they absolutely wet the bed. They have an opportunity here to face Denver, a team who they played a couple of years ago when Denver was coming in hot. I think they were winners of 3 out of their last 4 with Russell Wilson. That game ended on a Jimmy Ward interception. This Houston Texans defense at home, it is something special. The 49ers just got a taste of it, absolutely shutting down Christian McCaffrey and shutting down George Kittle. The Houston Texan offense is just going to be, can they put more than 17, 20 points? And that's going to be the biggest question. You're at home. It's a day where they're honoring the owner's mom. She is going into the Houston Texans Ring of Honor. I have this being actually an L for the Houston Texans guys. But I have this being an L where it's very close and it comes down to the very wire. I'm going to go Denver 27, Houston 24, and the Texans get right back on track against Jacksonville and Tennessee.
Ruben's trying that reverse psychology with that.
I have to do it
this last week.
I have to do it.
Well, hold on. So last week, if you lost to the 49ers, the season was over. You bought yourself a little bit of time with a win. Does that mean losing to the Broncos that we can basically stick a fork in the Texans?
No, because you still have an opportunity, to end up at 5-5 once you get to week 10, week 11. So I'm working on my reverse jinx here. The Houston Texans, unfortunately, they have yet to win the big game. This would be their biggest win right here against a Denver Broncos team. And then on that Tuesday, once it does happen, y'all won't be able to shut me up because then we're back, baby, and it gets scary.
You've got the power, Ruben.
You're going to need to hope that your team wins because if you lose and my team wins, you have no shot of winning the division.
Well, I'm not worried about the division. I'm not worried about the division. I'm worried about that wild card spot.
All right, here we go. Jaguars at Raiders. Man, this one is a really big one in my opinion because the Jags have been on a little bit of a skid. You come out of the bye week. If you lose to the Raiders, that'll really be a sobering thought for Jaguars fans. So I think this is a game that the Jaguars have got to have. Red Ranger, I will go to you first. Who do you have winning this game in the 4 p.m. time slot, Jags or Raiders?
Yeah, to me, I just feel like the Raiders are on a slump right now. Jags coming off a bye week, so this seems like a no-brainer to me. Go ahead and give me the Jaguars in this one, 21-6.
Jaguars 21-6. All right, Derek, who do you have winning this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick the Raiders right now. I mean, obviously they got dog walked against the Chiefs this last week, and of course Jacksonville having a bye week to prepare for this one, get a little healthier. So I don't know if it'll be pretty, but I do think the Jags will end up pulling it out. I'll say 24-10.
24-10 Jags. Okay.
Jags.
All right. Ruben, who do you have winning this one? Jags or Raiders?
No, I have Jacksonville winning this game, and winning this game single-handedly. This is going to be the first time Jaguars fans get to see, what head coach Liam Coleman does after a bye week. Did they answer some of their questions? I think they do. I think it's going to be a big win. Derek took my score, so I'm going to go 21-13 Jacksonville.
Okay. Dalton, give me a full preview of this one. You guys are playing the Raiders coming off the bye. Hopefully this is a get-right game for your Jacksonville Jaguars. In my opinion, like I said, this is a must-win. You cannot be on a 3-game skid and lose to a team like the Raiders if you want to be true contenders. So tell me how this one goes down, brother.
Yeah, the Raiders just are not a good team. I mean, 2-5 record. has lost 4 out of their last 5. Their only win came against the Titans in that stretch, which we all know about the Titans. So with this one, I mean, the Jaguars will come in here focused. I think the backs are against the wall. I don't think they're happy with the way they played. And I do think that the Jaguars have playoff aspirations for sure. So the Jaguars, an opportunity to go 5-3. And I think this game, the Jaguars need to just curb stomp them, to be honest. Like, they need some of that swagger back. The Jaguars had a lot of swagger, at the end of September, beginning of October, but just the last couple of weeks, just very, very passive play. And I think the Jaguars are still a new team, getting to know each other, getting to know themselves. The roster was kind of flipped around a little bit, new coaching staff, new front office and everything. So I don't know if they just if they overachieve the first few weeks, and I don't know if they underachieve the last couple of weeks. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Like I said, beginning of the year, I thought the Jaguars were an 8-win team. I hope right now the Jaguars are looking kind of 8-9. So I hope that the Jaguars go in here and beat them. And I'll say the Jaguars beat them. I'll say they beat them down, like I say. I think they come in with a really good game plan. They get back to the run game. They do what they do well. I think the Jaguars win 27-13.
All right, there you go. Clean sweep. Jags fan does not like, he calls it a costume. This is the real Red Ranger. What costume? What do you mean costume, sir? I don't know. I feel like
his name is Real Red Ranger. Ignore the Michael thing, because he just came in on Michael's account.
Jax, if you don't like it, you can play with my Red Rocket.
Perfect. Paul Wilson says, Dalton sets the rules, no stats, just feelings like other Jags fans. Introvert talk is bonus points.
Okay, I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like it when I bring up stats, Jesse. I mean,
no, I just mess with you because you go deep into the stats.
Oh yeah, man, the numbers things are huge.
But you don't ever go into bad stats, like in years past, like when Anthony Richardson was a bum.
Dude,
you were talking about second
that's
quarter.
all I ever heard was that. Okay,
all he talked about was 8 quarters.
Well aware that Anthony Richardson was only completing 52% of his passes. Okay,
That was his eye, by the way.
He did get that surgery this last week. They expect him to be back this year. Just not exactly sure when though, but I mean, all he would be is the backup, so it's not like it matters. I mean, he'll probably end up getting traded as soon as that eye gets back to normal.
The Jaguars really only got to play him once. It's kind of sad.
Right.
Tay says
No, we
Derek
got
can be
Cam
happy
Ward.
now. Last few years, not so much. And follows up with, to keep it a buck right now, we ask.
Is that
Nice, well
who's he
played.
talking about?
I mean,
I don't know.
You could bring up that case for all the rest of these guys' teams. That's fine.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Derek,
Even
we're
including
on
yours, Jesse.
Oh,
Hey, calm down.
Ooh.
Calm down,
Ooh.
buddy.
Hey,
All right, we're 5-3. All right, not so bad.
To be 3-0 the next time we play you.
Derek's
Hey,
just
Jesse, you should send the link to the Rams guy on the NFC West roundtable. Have him talk Derek
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
should. I should. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. All right, listen. I'm actually gonna bring a little throwback in. We're about halfway through the season. We can talk trade deadline, but that's for next week because we still got a whole nother week before the trade deadline. I want to call back to something that we did before the season started, and I'm interested to see what or where this has changed and your guys' opinion. So, Derek, I'm actually going to start with you on this one. Before the season started, we ranked the quarterbacks in the division. At that time, Anthony Richardson, I believe you had ranked as the starter. But now that we've seen a half a season, we've seen Danny Dimes, we've seen the rest of these quarterbacks, I want to know what your thoughts are. Give me the rankings of all the starters in the division 1 through 4.
Well, I mean, obviously Daniel Jones is number 1. I mean, no question about it. The numbers all back that up. As far as number 2, Trevor Lawrence definitely is number 2 right now. That could very well change if CJ Stroud starts, accumulating games like what we saw this last week. But, so far CJ Stroud's been too inconsistent to be at the number 2. And, Trevor Lawrence has had to deal with a lot this year. So I definitely think he's number 2. Stroud sitting there at number 3. And, I I feel bad for Cam Ward, man. I mean, obviously he's in number 4, but I mean, I feel so bad for Cam Ward right now because it seems like he's the only guy on that Titans team that, or I wouldn't even really say that. He's more mature and understanding of the situation than the coaches are, which is ridiculous. I mean, again, there were times in that first half when it was 4th down and 1 and Mike decided not to go for it. And Cam Ward was on the sideline like, what the hell are we doing? Like, we're already 1-6. Why are we not going for it? So, yeah, I mean, Cam is wise beyond his years, but he just doesn't have the team to back it up.
Be honest, did you want to put Anthony Richardson at 4 instead of Cam Ward?
Nah, I mean, I have gotten to the point now where I have just excluded Anthony Richardson out of my mind. In my opinion, he is no longer a part of this Indianapolis Colts future. He will not be a part of this team. By this time next year, he will not be a part of this team.
So biggest bust.
He will be traded or be released somewhere by this time next year, no question.
Was he a bust, would you say?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Biggest bust of the last decade?
Could very well argue that.
Derek, I don't understand. So you were so mad that he got that Daniel Jones started over him. Hasn't played a snap since, but now you call him a bust?
Yeah. Because if Daniel Jones could come in and, we see him have this resurgence, and we've seen all the other quarterbacks that Shane Steichen has been able to handle. Apparently, Anthony Richardson is the only quarterback that Shane Steichen has not touched that has been able to figure it out. So obviously there's something insanely wrong with Anthony Richardson. So therefore he is a bust.
Wow.
Yikes. All right, Red Ranger, you have actually, I'm going to save you for last because you might be a tiebreaker here on this one. I could see this one going pretty interesting. So, Dalton, give me your 1 through 4 quarterbacks in the division.
Yeah, number 1, Daniel Jones. Number 2, honestly, this one's hard. I would probably give it to Trevor Lawrence just because I think he's had more moments this year. He's had like the Chiefs game when they needed to score a touchdown. He drove down the field and won it in prime time. And he's had a couple of games, even against the Texans, game-winning touchdown drive at the very end. He's just had more moments where he's in close games, put a team on his back, and actually gone out there and win the games. CJ Stroud, number 3. It's definitely been disappointing for him. And with the Texans offense, like if it rains, it pours. They're either just doing amazing and just scoring all over the place, or they can't score a single touchdown. It's kind of wild there. So I think with them, it's just they're still trying to figure out the offense, and we'll see. We'll see how they go throughout the rest of the season. And then number 4, Cam Ward. It's hard to really rank him right now just because the situation is so bad. I will say that the fumbling issues need to be cleaned up. I think that's one thing you can't control, where it's just, some of these plays, it's like, what is he doing? Like, but I know it's probably just a young guy making a play. So not a very fun quarterback ranking, to be honest with you, because I feel like Trevor Lawrence has kind of limped into the number 2 spot for me, but we'll see how this ends up.
Not a lot of love for CJ Stroud, man. When this season started, if you remember, everybody had CJ Stroud number 1, and here we go. Both gentlemen putting him at number 3. Ruben, what are your thoughts on this one? What are your
I don't have
rankings?
any issue with CJ Stroud being at 3 right now, just because of how inconsistent the offense has been. We've seen the ceiling is, damn near 50 points against Baltimore, and we've seen the low 0 points against LA. Like I mentioned, with the rankings earlier, if you get a dub this Sunday against Denver, this conversation does change. When you look at the stats between, T-Law and CJ Stroud, same amount of interceptions. CJ Stroud has 2 more touchdowns. T-Law has about, I think, 300 to 400 more yards. So stats are almost the same. But, Dalton is right when it comes to those big moments that T-Law has had. Daniel Jones, clear number 1 quarterback right now in the AFC South. And Cam Ward, I'm sorry, it's getting tough.
All right. Michael, I thought you might have to be a tiebreaker. Excuse me, Red Ranger. I thought you might have to be a tiebreaker here. But everybody's putting CJ Stroud at number 3. Do you agree with this one? What are your quarterback rankings in the division?
I mean, for me, nothing's really going to change. It's basically how everybody's called it out. I mean, Daniel Jones is the unanimous number 1. You know, I would have to say just there's really nothing I can say that's going to change the narrative going forward. Of course, I got to defend Cam Ward at this point because, well, let's just face it, I've got to power up my guy. So let's just put it this way. Cam Ward has played at times good and bad, but at the same time, it's just one of those situations. They don't have a captain at the helm. They're just trying to get the ship back to the dock at this point. And, you know, all Cam Ward can do is just go out, play, make his mistakes, and learn from them, from this staff the best that he can. And you're just hoping that they can pair him with the right head coach going into 2026. I am feeling a little bit in a point where that they are improving and helping him get to the narrative where he's playing better. It's small things that he's doing that's helping the team just get to a point to where they're moving along. And you can see the progression, especially with his young wideouts and his young tight end, Gunnar Helm. So there's good things going for the Tennessee Titans. It's just you have to glean the field for it at this point, and it's a bare field. But however it is, you know, Daniel Jones, he's playing at a level where, you know, this Colts team could very well be just a major threat going into the playoffs this year. So,
well, listen, for my money, if I'm taking a quarterback in this division, I'm still taking CJ Stroud. I don't care what anybody says. CJ Stroud's that deal to me. You give him some protection, he's going to pick anybody apart.
Yo, Ruben, are you guys gonna give him a new contract in the year, you think?
I mean, I don't think after this year. But he does have David Mulligetta, so that's going to be very fun to see.
That guy cooks, man.
Well, yeah,
he's a tough agent.
Well, you know, he was the agent for Deshaun Watson, and that whole fiasco thing happened.
He's Jalen Ramsey's agent too, which, you know, got him out of here. That guy gets some shit done,
they did it. Yeah, no, I would understand if they made CJ Stroud a top pick quarterback based off of what he has done and, you know, what he has gone through. You know, the fact that you're seeing so many former like top pick quarterbacks, you know, having a resurgence, you know, late in their career, you know, just shows you don't give up on a guy, especially someone that was the offensive rookie of the year, especially that someone who in his first season has a stat with Joe Montana and Tom Brady. So it's going to be interesting though when it comes. I would do it.
So do you think that Nick Caserio is safe this year? Because
that's a great question.
The Texans were ready to make that push, but the Texans are kind of being held back by, I feel like, Nick Caserio, because first of all, the roster just did not improve the way it should have. And also he's trying to emulate the exact same thing that the Patriots are doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think DeMeco Ryans is from the Patriots.
No, so, you know, we have a thing here. It's called the Patriots South, right? And that's what the Texans are, you know, in the AFC South. If you look at their GM, their O-line coach, their offensive coordinator, they have two things in common: John Carroll University and New England. The Houston Texans have been obsessed with trying to beat New England, even all the way back when they had Bill O'Brien as the head coach, who they hired from the New England Patriots. As you know, he was their offensive coordinator. Once the Texans get rid of the ghost of New England, then I think, you know, this franchise can go off and do great things. But I do agree, it is a problem. It has been a problem.
I will say, though, because I was watching a game this weekend, it was nice that the Texans actually started using their rookies a little bit, which I think they were forced to.
Special.
Yeah, and Woody Marks had a good game. I picked up Woody Marks. I needed him in fantasy, so I was like, I think this could be a good game for him. He showed some stuff. I think overall, like, I don't know why they haven't been utilizing them more.
No, I 100% agree. Jalen Noah has been your big playmaker, and I think he showed that once again on Sunday against San Francisco. Jaden Higgins, you know, catching a touchdown, and then Xavier Hutchinson. You know, all three of those, you know, wide receivers went to Iowa State, and they absolutely balled for you. So it's kind of a, you know, a double-edged sword when Nico's not out there, because you don't have one of the best wide receivers in the league, but you get to see what everyone else does, and you get to see what your quarterback does, you know, without his top weapon.
I do want to throw this out there, Leaky knows. I have a second channel. August 19th, 2023, I made a video titled Giants Daniel Jones is criminally underrated. So I think Daniel Jones is a good player. I think he's been super underrated. That doesn't mean that I'm taking him over CJ Stroud. Give me CJ Stroud. So
Well, I mean, ceiling wise,
it is not
I
Daniel
think 3
Jones
out of the
hate.
4 of us
It's yeah,
are
I
choosing
understand.
CJ
I mean,
Stroud.
we've seen what CJ Stroud can do when he has the weapons and he has and a somewhat okay offensive line. Then we've seen what he can do. I mean, and very few quarterbacks could struggle under what the Colts have to provide right now offensively. I mean, we have an insanely great play caller in Shane Steichen. And when you have an offensive line that's that elite and you have a weapon for every scenario, I mean, it's impossible not to succeed unless you're Anthony Richardson.
Well, I'll say this about CJ Stroud. The thing that worries me most about him isn't even on the field, but I don't know. Sometimes in press conferences, he just seems like he acts like he doesn't care what people say about him, but it's like he sometimes snaps at the media like, "Oh, you guys thought we were trash. This is that." It's like, bro, you guys didn't score a touchdown. Like, there's a reason why people aren't really believing. And some of the stuff, some of those things I hear, sometimes he may not be the offensive coordinators don't necessarily like him because he's like, I don't want to be under center because he wants to be, in shotgun like he was at Ohio State. So like the ability is definitely there, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that second part about him being under center, but I would think his body language, when things go wrong, it just pisses you off, and I just think he's one of those people that when everything goes right, it's super positive and everything, and then when it goes wrong, it looks like that. There's a beef going on right now between the Houston Texans and Texans media. It's something that's been going on for the last couple of weeks, so it's gonna be fun to watch going forward. D'Amico Ryans had to get on. He didn't get on, but he went back and forth with a couple of two reporters here in Houston.
Yo, do you still have Chris Strasser as your O-line coach?
No, we fired his ass.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that.
Oh no, he retired. He retired, but
okay, that's a great thing for you because he's so bad.
You guys good? Ha ha, sugar. Yes, sir. That's what D'Amico told those two reporters.
So are you on a media side or are you just a little YouTuber?
Well, I guess I'm a little YouTuber, but I am on the media side because you're 0-3, man. How can you not get some criticism? And the last 2 years we've been praising D'Amico Ryans. So it's like when it goes good, I know you're gonna want the praise and everything, but when it goes bad, I mean, you have to take some type of criticism. And here's the thing that no one was talking about D'Amico Ryans, getting fired or anything like that. That was more from the fans. So, they say they don't listen to the noise. They clearly do. If they want to use the noise and the fans and media as like as gas, go ahead and use it.
And that's what's annoying me is the Jaguars have a player. His name is Andrew Wingard. He's like, a safety.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jaguars do go to the course of the first few games. Like, oh, you got the media. You guys didn't believe in us. You guys thought we were. And it's like, dude, people just call it how they see it. They look at everything. They say you didn't do things right. And they take it so personally. It's like, dude, they have a job. And they just report. Like, are they supposed to just kiss your ass and act like you're Super Bowl champions? And then, just so if you guys do live up to those expectations, it's weird that these guys look so deeply into what's said about them. These guys need to get off social media for real.
No, absolutely. And it's like, as soon as you have a good game, you want everyone to come to your locker room, right? You want all the mics and everything. But as soon as you start messing up, no one talk to me, respect my space. Like, come on now. What are we doing here? Which is why I don't.
That's what happened this offseason with Chris Ballard in the media. Like the media, when after the season was over and Jim Irsay still decided to keep Chris Ballard after the year that we had, fans were all over social media saying Ballard needs to be gone. Like this is absolutely ridiculous that this team continues to not have any direction. And the media for the longest time kept asking him like, why should fans feel comfortable about you making the decisions right now when, you guys haven't been able to figure out this quarterback situation since the day Andrew Luck left. Like what happened? Like what are we supposed to do? And Ballard snapped at a few reporters. Like he got a little petty with them and everything else. But I mean, it's kind of funny now because they finally have the quarterback that's been running the offense the way that they need to. But yeah, that was the kind of the same case for the Colts this offseason too.
Eric says Travis Hunter is going to be wide receiver 1 after the bye week.
Wide receiver 1 and cornerback 1, man. Unleash him. He's a beast. He's been killing it on both sides, man.
All right, fellas, great show. Thank you to everybody that supports the AFC South Roundtable. Make sure you hit the like buttons and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Let's get more folks in here. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m., we will be live for Red Ranger, Derek, Ruben, and Dalton. I'm your host, Jesse. We'll be back next week. Enjoy your week 9. Much love. Peace.
Prayers up for Jamaica.